we've seen this before, man. The media is almost like they're looking for an angle
Yeah.
not to give Jokic the MVP. And ironic enough, Draymond Green and Gilbert Arenas actually spoke on this, how European players don't really have the same expectations when it comes to the media as American players, especially when it comes to winning and legacy. You know, and a perfect example of that is the way Jason Tatum was pressured to win a championship versus the way they kind of put the same pressure on Luka. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the expectations. But they spoke on it. Let's just check it out real quick to see what they said. Draymond Green and Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert, man, he's always having some every once in a while he has some interesting shit to say when he doesn't try to go viral. my man be tweaking sometimes, but he does have gems every once in a while. But let's check it out.
Why does European players not get the same flack for winning championships or not than U.S. American-born guys? For instance, I saw a list today Stephen A. put out, and it was like the players under the most pressure to win a championship. I think James Harden was 1, CP was 2, Jason Tatum was 3, Joker was 4. Joker has 2 MVPs. Joker has 2 MVPs. More than likely about to be a 3rd MVP.
Mm-hmm.
And he's older than JT.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that he's 4th, but JT's 3rd? And Luka wasn't even on the list, right? Now, obviously Luka's a little younger than JT, but I feel like over the years, European players has not had the same, caught the same flack of winning a championship as U.S. players, and I don't understand that. And I wanted to know if you feel the same way about that.
It's really a knock, to be honest. Do they think that they're even capable of winning it by themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Do they hold them to the greatness of what they hold the American players to, right? So when you have a Luka, when you have Jokic, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, they're good European players are coming over, they're dominating, but do we hold them to the same standard? So it's like they get a free easy pass, right? They get a free easy pass versus someone you know me, you know what I'm about. It's the might be the color of the skin a little bit, you know what I mean? You got to remember the American white boy is gone.
Mm-hmm.
They adapted the black side of the game, right? They adopted the athletic part of the game, so they don't have the same fundamentals that they used to have.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So when you name when I see the white players, and then you put Luka in there, like that's European. Stop! Don't try that. I'm on you. That's a good start. You can't say he's competing with Larry Bird. No.
Yeah,
that's Hayward. That's Caruso. That's that group.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So I think they're trying to find a way to ease the Europeans in to make it a broader game, and I don't think they want to really give them that oomph yet. But we're mentally built for it. Right now, the jury is still out on the Europeans. We see Luka, amazing. Dirk, amazing. Peja, amazing. The ones that came over have been amazing, right? But they need to start understanding that there's a lot from everywhere. There's a lot now. I mean, you can really put an all-star game together, the overseas versus the American.
Yeah,
absolutely. You can really do that now. You know what I mean? Because you'd be surprised who's from, who's not American.
Absolutely.
Like Shea is not American.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you can really have an all-star game where it's so, you know what I mean? You need to play it down the middle now. Give the same respect to them as you do us, which means you have to put the same type of responsibility on them just like there's no way JT's supposed to be in this conversation right now.
Yeah.
No, that why?
Yeah.
He's 24, 25 years old. Huh?
Absolutely.
It's like Jaylen Brown is older than him, but you put more. It's like shut up, but that's what media does.
Yeah.
They try to set you up so you can fail.
No, 100%, 100%. And I can agree with you 100%. Like these Europeans today, Luka, Joker, Giannis, although Giannis accomplished the feat, Joel, and Joel's African, but just from another continent. Like these guys, they real guys, and they these guys are top 10 guys in our league. Majority of them top 5, but they top 10 guys in our league. And I think I didn't even think about it from the perspective of you saying like it's a knock. Like I didn't even think about that. But what I will say is whoever is knocking them, at some point you got to stop. These guys are as good as anyone in the league, if not better. And if the thing is, it's a knock and we don't hold them to that standard, that got to go. Because and by the way, I think Luka wants to be held to that standard. I think we know Giannis wants to be. We know Giannis wants to be held to. So I think these guys want to be held to that standard. And I also think, again, talking about it from a journalism standpoint, honesty. We need that back in this business. Not a narrative. Not the narrative of we don't know. We're not going to put. No. We need honesty. We need the truth back in this business because that is what ultimately helps grow this game. And that helps you. It helps myself. It helps everybody involved and who is touched by the game of basketball. So I that's something that I hope to see. I appreciate your perspective on that because it definitely gave me a totally different perspective that I haven't thought about.
So do you think it's really a knock on the European players? And that same knock is what really prevents Jokic from just collecting all these MVP awards? Like they just don't really have that expectation of him being great when it comes to the media.
European players are there's a new concept within the league, a lot newer, obviously. I think throughout NBA's history, they viewed kind of European players to be a lot more softer role players. So I think now you're seeing a change in narrative. And I think because of a change in narrative, it's going to take some time for a lot of people to adopt into the new America. Or not the new America, my bad. A new NBA where it's not just, it's not just American players.
Yeah, there's almost like a conditioning for the NBA American audience to accept international presence. It's the same thing.
I also disagree.
My bad. It's the same thing in soccer. Like in international, like soccer, like everyone accepts a player could be from Portugal, a person could be from Russia, he could be from Brazil. It's almost accepted, because Americans here accept, especially English Premiership soccer, they already anticipate these things. But when it comes to NBA, it's almost like they reject those same things. Oh, this guy's Brazilian, or Giannis. Giannis is cool, but he's Greek. He doesn't really have that American swag. He's not one of us. You know what I'm saying? Like Giannis said that himself. He can't be the face of the league. He doesn't have American swag all the time.
Yeah. He's not a really bigger than life personality as Americans love.
But those same expectations is what makes this award kind of a narrative award at times when you see them not give it to Jokic, or even have that kind of greatness expectation for guys like Embiid, but not really for SGA or Luka.
Yes.
Like Luka early on in his career, he didn't have the same pressure as Jason Tatum did early in his career.
But I'm gonna be honest, I do think Dirk had pressure, man, in his career. I think Arenas, when he made that point of like Dirk didn't have expectations, I disagree. I think Dirk did have expectations.
He had expectations after he won the MVP award.
Yeah, after he went to the the year he went to the finals, he had expectations.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, he won the MVP afterwards. Yeah, you're right.
Afterwards, yes. So Dirk had expectations, but the thing is, I think the conversation around him kind of fizzled out when the Lakers were winning, and it took like Duncan won another one, then the Lakers won two, and what was it? Obviously the Celtics. So the conversation around him kind of fizzled. But I think there were still expectations of Dirk winning the final because I was like the last achievement he really needed.
Yeah, he had expectations, but I'm gonna have to shoot Gil some bail because he really didn't have expectations of being great.
Not the similar expectations of Kobe winning, LeBron winning his first, or Kobe winning one after Shaq.
Or even I'm gonna say this, or even Garnett winning a championship. He didn't have the same expectations as Garnett. Like that's what Gilbert was talking about. What's the sentiment? Like where does that come from? They're trying to pinpoint.
Did Timmy have the expectations?
No. What I'm saying, they're trying to pinpoint in that conversation between Draymond and Gilbert. They're trying to pinpoint where does that come from? That sentiment that the media has expectations for Garnett, but not really the same thing for Dirk. When in reality, it should be the same expectations, but they don't. They put a different pressure on Garnett versus Dirk.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. We're seeing it here because that same knock that they were talking about is what's preventing Jokic from possibly being, possibly getting his 4th MVP award. It's almost like they're trying to find an excuse not to give Jokic the award. Let's give it to SGA. It's a weird thing, man. But if Jokic had expectations of greatness like an American player, they would have been like, wow, look at his numbers. It's undeniable. We're going to give him the MVP for the 4th time. Like it's a weird thing, man. It's a weird thing. But do you think the MVP award is more narrative driven?
Yeah, it has always been narrative driven.
Yeah. I think the Russell Westbrook MVP award proved it.
Yeah.
James,
he had a whole storyline, him beating the Oscar Robertson record.
Yeah, KD leaving.
Okay, yeah, of course, Kevin Durant leaving.
Yeah, it's just that James Harden really. I don't like James Harden's game, but even I will admit he should have had.
I
the
make
MVP.
the argument for 2017. I thought 2017 Kawhi also has an argument.
True.
He had a really good season. I mean, dude, obviously, I think at the time fans loved it, so you do have to give a little bit to fans because Russell Westbrook's one of those guys.
Yeah, he's beloved by a lot of people, definitely.
Yeah, I do think it's a little bit. I think even Giannis winning the MVPs were a lot narrative driven too, of a new era.
Yeah, but Giannis deserved it. He was killing it.
No, he just. No, I think all the MVPs deserve it throughout history.
But Giannis, in a way, they've kind of played him the same way they played Jokic when it comes to some of these MVP votings, though, like where he finishes.
Yeah, I think he's getting played in this one too. To be honest with you,
even his but it's been long before that. Even his consideration, it's been kind of met with like they just really didn't expect it. This is before he won the championship. It's almost like they didn't expect greatness out of him, just like how Gilbert and Draymond was talking about. Because he's international, so they try to like downplay him even being in the running for MVP. It's a weird thing that they do. I mean, it's really undeniable. It's really undeniable.